Yes, everyone, that time it is I. Welcome to the Final Cut. Mark the Movie Man here, and we are looking at an independent film that is not an independent horror film. Now, that I know is shocking, but we are looking at the independent dramatic action film called The Gods 2. It is brought to us by Michael Shannon Jenkins, who wrote and directed the sequel to his initial film, The Gods. This one, in The Gods 2, The Dark Side, we catch up after the events of the first one, where we have the James brothers on the run and in hiding after what had happened in the first one. Mikey James is having a real tough time dealing with the grief that he's feeling, but he has to push that aside, and his family has to come out of hiding and put themselves in danger to settle an old debt. And that involves them possibly pairing up with someone they really don't want to do that with. And we see how all of these storylines interchange, how decisions are made, and just how much it impacts the James brothers' future as they try to settle this debt with Chicago gangsters. The Gods 2 is a sharply acted, well-written, loved the direction of this film. Michael Shannon Jenkins, who also stars as Mikey James, gives us a fantastic and intriguing story. I found it interesting how well it picks up after the events of the first one. I watched the first one as well. Now, it's not action-packed. There are action scenes. There's a lot of drama acting in here, which means you gotta put some talent behind the characters in front of the camera, and you have that here. We've got Nicoy Banks as Keith James. He's more of the young, hothead brother of sorts. He's the one that is kind of like Mikey James, but not quite in control of his emotions, very more reactionary. And then you have Bobby James, who is the more quiet one, the one who's the number cruncher and the business-minded one for sure, played by Casey Ford Alexander. The dynamic between these three was fantastic. I loved it. They felt like brothers. You felt the tension between them and the love as well. And yeah, you feel the frustration too when they were in disagreement. Really comes across on screen with the dynamic between these individuals, and I thought they did great. Ernest Thompson plays a fantastic character called Olympus. I would love to see a prequel about Olympus, who is this badass, well-respected individual amongst the two crime families who are at disagreements with one another. And yeah, Ernest Thompson does fantastic in the Olympus role. And then we got Anthony Fasano, as he is the head of the other crime family that the James brothers initially came from. He's played by Kevin Interdonato, and yeah, just the way you wanted this character played, just a little bit over the top, but for this type of movie and story, that was okay. This is a scary individual for sure, and also you felt this conflict because of what happened in the first film. You can feel his choices and decisions. He's questioning himself, always doubt, but he's got some guys around him to help him in guiding his decision as being head of the family. So yeah, there's a lot of intrigue, a lot of story, and a lot of interaction between the actors in this. This one, I think, was better directed than the first one, and the story definitely moves a lot more. There's a lot more moving pieces, not only just locations, but just the way the story moves in this one. It moves better than it does in the first one, so it is improved as there as well. And yeah, Michael Shannon Jenkins is just great. The only few things that I may have had trouble with is they do leap a bit in the time, so you have to realize that and kind of put your thinking noggin on, because there are a few things that they reference that it may have happened that were off screen. Not too many of those in this one, but there are some moments in here where you realize there has been some time passed between the previous scene and the one you're witnessing. And how it plays out, yeah, it's very fitting that it's called The Gods 2, The Dark Side. So if you liked The Gods, if you like independent, dramatic crime action films, then you're going to like The Gods too. But definitely see The Gods first, so you can get familiar with the characters and why these things are happening the way they are. So if you have seen this, please leave your comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts on this very interesting indie film. Please like and subscribe and all that here. Check out our Patreon if you care to. And thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.